dwarf. Eric, he's terribly short. He doesn't mind or sing or fight or have an elvish friend. He'll steal your socks and underpants, but doesn't have a beard or live with half a dozen friends. Or know anyone called Snow White. Thank you very much. Eric the dwarf. Eric the dwarf. Eric the dwarf. Did he say the check's in the post?
Should we start, Dennis?
It doesn't seem right, Eric.
I know, but we can't keep them waiting too long. You know our listeners have very short attention spans.
Oh, no, but even so...
Well, personally speaking, I couldn't give a monkey's. The stories won't get any better whatever time we start.
But he's the storyteller, George. How can you have a story without a teller? It feels weird.
You're the one that's weird. Anyway, I'm not certain if I'm able to carry on at the moment. I'm still very upset after the incident. Dennis, you know what I'm talking about.
Who knew cats could jump that high?
Yes, George. I particularly enjoyed the way you headbutted the lampshade.
And screamed like a little girl. Stop laughing. Stop laughing. Right. I'm not speaking to anyone ever again. I demand respect. You all forget who I am.
No, you're my fat cat.
Fat. How dare you? It's not my fault I'm big-boned.
By the way, you're still speaking to us?
I am now turning my back to you all, and I am officially sulking.
Oh, dear. He's turned his back, John. This could go on for ages. You know how moody cats are.
And we can't start now. Unfortunately, we need George for this scene.
See? You should have thought of that before personally attacking my personage.
You're talking to us again?
Oh, yeah. Right. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm late. I needed to get to the shops and the traffic was terrible. Yes, I got the shampoo and conditioner you like. Yes, a pink one with green spots, and it was buy one get one free, so I got a purple one with orange spots for me. Very fetching.
Peanut butter.
Yes, crunchy and smooth.
Yahoo!
What are you doing?
This is my happy dance. Everyone should have a happy one, you know.
And I've got something special for everyone for 11s.
I don't believe it. Stop with the dancing now. I order you in the name of everything that is sacred and honest. I can't watch. And yet, somehow, I can't not watch either. It's so eye-wateringly awful. You have to keep looking. This must be why we watch all them reality TV shows.
Right, well, that's enough of that for now. We'd better get on. Just put these over here out of the way. Yes, I'll feed you in a minute once we get things up and running. Oh, we haven't done a previously on Eric the Dwarf. People won't know what's going on. Yes, you're right. What's new? John arrived home from church and went inside while Mum parked the car. He was met by a sulky Dad.
Hi, Dad. Had a good morning?
What do you think? Abby was at home as well, so I've just been doing boring housework and stuff. Promise me you'll take her next week. There's a £5 in it for you.
I'll see what I can do.
Sunday's ruined now.
Oh, don't say that, Dad. I'm sure Mum will let you go down to the shed later on.
Do you think so? I was hoping all this housework might get me a pass. I've washed up, vacuumed, started dinner, and even cleaned the toilet.
Wow, you really need the shed bad.
I know. I even surprised myself how far I was prepared to go.
Hello. What are you two chatting about?
Mum, Dad is just saying how he couldn't possibly go down to the shed today as he's got so much to do around the house, and I was agreeing. What do you think?
No, I'm sure he can pop down for an hour or so later on. Right, let's get dinner sorted.
There you go, Dad. Result. Mum never agrees with anything I say.
Genius! It's manly hug time.
No. Oh!
You love it, really? Right, I'm off to plan my afternoon. Not certain if I'll potter, mooch or faff about in the shed. Decisions.
Wow, this happy dance thing is really catching on.
With that, John headed for his bedroom. As he approached, he could hear a commotion.
3, just what I needed.
My go.
It's still my go.
Tough. I'm throwing. 4. Right, move that in then. Put that over there.
You can't go there.
Eric's right, George.
All right.
Watch out.
And you can put my counter back too.
Oh, yeah.
And you move 5 there, not 4. Get back.
Well spotted,
Hey,
Eric.
cheers, Dennis. Right, my turn. 6. Get in there. Now, oi, where's that counter gone?
Oh, sneaky one, George.
Is it my turn?
No, and you can't do that.
What?
What happened then?
Come on, George, you know.
Oh, all right.
Crikey, that was a close one. Nearly a brilliant diabolical double dipstick move.
And you can stop that as well, George.
How did you see that?
Anyone got any peanut butter sandwiches?
What's going on?
Shh! Don't disturb them. They've nearly finished.
Move 4. You can go back 3.
I'll stop that with a... Hey, where's my dice
Oh,
gone?
brilliant! The old purloin the dice move.
Word of the week. Purloin. Steal, nick, put in someone's pocket or fur when no one's looking. Educational or what? And where's me bleeding dice?
Move that one home. Shake a 10 using 2 dice.
Hey, now hang on.
Yes, in we go. Now to move George's last counter out of the way. Hey, George, there's a big fat canary sat on John's Chaz Chunder alarm clock.
What? Where?
Oh, the old crafty canary counter-strike. It's like poetry in motion.
And then...
No.
Then...
No.
Zonko!
It can't be. It can't be.
It most certainly is. Read them and weep, me old mate.
Brilliant game. Well played, both.
It was because of all the upset earlier, you know, the incident. I couldn't concentrate properly. Actually, I think we should call it a draw, as I was feeling so peaky.
Okay, it's a draw. You have no counters on the board and no dice, but it's a draw.
Where are me counters?
Oh, the usual places. Here, up there, under this, and between there.
I'm still 1 short.
Oh, yes. Dennis,
Yeah?
blow.
What? Oh, right.
Thank dog it was only the nose. I was worried there for a second.
I wouldn't do that to you again, Dennis.
Oh, my eyes are watering just thinking about it.
That's not my counter. I was playing blue, not green. Oh, right. And gross, Dennis.
Sorry, but if it's any consolation, my sinuses are much better.
This game looks great. How do you play it?
What? A Ooman playing Zonko? You've got to be kidding.
I don't think you'd cope, John.
How do you mean?
Well, it's the ultimate cheating game. You move counters around the board to get them home, and cheat in every way possible whilst doing so. The only real rule is you have to own up to your cheating if spotted by your opponent. So in another way, it's the world's most honourable game that demands complete honesty.
So what happens if you don't own up to your cheating?
And that question is exactly why Oomans could never play.
Oomans wouldn't own up, would they, John?
They might.
My experience tells me humans would invest large amounts of time and money into ways of not owning up, which kind of defeats the object, really. But that's never stopped your lot in the past.
Right, I'll prove you wrong. We'll have a game.
OK, your choice. Actually, it would be a good experiment, and if nothing else, worth seeing when you mess it up. But you'd better play Dennis first to try and get the hang of it. Because if you hadn't noticed, I'm an ace zonker.
Luck. Sheer luck.
Come on, George, you were well and truly zonked.
It was top zonking. You're the zonkmeister, Eric. Me? I'm rubbish at it. Far too honest. I keep apologising and giving the game away.
Right then, you and me, Dennis. But Eric, I have you in my sight.
Oh, I'm scared.
I know you are.
I know you know. I just said it.
I know you just said it. That's how I know.
I know that you know that I said it because I was listening.
And I know that you know that that's how you know
Enough,
that...
please. This getting the last word thing is becoming very time-consuming. And that was that. Dennis proceeded to thrash John at Zonko, whilst constantly saying sorry, and a good time was had by all, until Mum shouted for lunch. But John surprised everyone by actually owning up to all his cheating and being a good sport in defeat. Everyone, including George, was quietly impressed. John had done all us Oomans proud. I do beg your pardon. It was the mention of lunch. It must be time for Levenses.
I boiled the kettle earlier. Soon get a brew on.
Peanut butter sandwiches, at last.
Starving me? What we got?
There's some nice warm chicken, especially for all you cats. Salad, crisps, a lovely crusty sliced loaf from the deli, peanut butter, and a homemade fruit cake from my Auntie Beryl. Oh, I'm sure our listeners won't mind. They're probably feeling peckish themselves and could do with a break.
Eric, could you spread my peanut butter? I struggle with me paws.
Okay. Hey, don't take all the chicken.
This is gorgeous. You know, you can talk if you want. Okay, suit yourself. They say the chicken's great too. Mind you, after the day I have had, it was the least you could do, and I hope you noticed how professional I was carrying on with the scene after the way I've been treated.
Come on, George, you love us, really?
Don't you tickle me, don't you tickle me.
Tickle, 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 tickle.
No, stop it, stop it. Oh, I hate you, Eric.
Hey, what's going on here, you bunch of limeys? You never cease to amaze. Pure amateurs.
We're just taking a slight break. All that zonking can be very tiring.
Oh, is that fruitcake?
From my Auntie Beryl.
Oh, wow, right. Well, I'll just get this chundry nonsense out the way and I wouldn't mind trying a piece.
And a cup of tea?
Sure, why not? Milk, 1 sugar.
No problem.
Gee, thanks. Chaz Chunder and his heroic hamsters. Last week, we left Chaz in a perilous position, hanging from the clock tower, armed with only a toothbrush, an aubergine, and a pair of tasteless yellow socks. When the clock strikes 12, 1,000,000 killer termites will be released, eating everything in their path, including Chaz. Funnily enough, the hamsters are nowhere to be seen, having a severe aversion to insects and yellow socks.
As a superhero of all-round gorgeousness and a high fancy ability ratio, I wouldn't normally be seen dead with yellow socks. However, on this occasion, they may just come in handy. Put the aubergine inside one sock, tie that to the second sock, and I can use it as a kind of grappling hook to swing over to the arms of the clock. Then, after quickly brushing my teeth...
Right, that's enough of that. My cake is here. Oh, lovely. Oh, yeah, very moist. Oh, light. Oh, so perfect.
What about Chaz?
Oh, he'll be all right. He always is. Any chance of another slice?
Oh, help yourself.
Great, great. Oh, the best cake ever.
Right then, with Chaz left in limbo, I suppose we better carry on with the main story. John went down to dinner and tucked into a cracking Sunday roast. He was greatly amused when Eric appeared and stood behind Abby, pulling silly faces and doing happy dances. John couldn't see how this added to Eric's study of Oomans, but it was very funny. After dinner, John had a burning question for Eric.
Eric, there's something I've been meaning to ask you for a while. When I found you in my wardrobe, you were looking for socks and, I think, underpants. Why?
Good question. Well, the first thing to say is, I wasn't looking for just any socks and underpants. They had to be used.
Oh.
I know. That's why underpants tend to be a last resort.
But why used?
Well, as you are aware, magic, or transmogrification, is used on most worlds. To use magic, An essence is needed which we call transmog. This is produced naturally in different creatures at varying amounts, so there can be a lot of transmog trade between worlds through the transmog bank. If you're running short, you can top up either through allocated quotas or for a price. Now, your world has never used magic, and everyone assumed this was because you produced no transmog because, let's face it, you were rubbish.
Now, hang on.
But 5 years ago, everything changed. A representative from the Goblin world, on a visit to your planet, mistook a pair of used underpants as fashionable headgear, and the rest is history.
How come?
Well, among other things, he found transmog in his hair.
What?
Yes, it turned out humans produced masses of the stuff, but their bodies were so hopeless, they couldn't retain it. Instead, gravity took effect and transmog headed downwards, eventually leaking out of your bottom and the soles of your feet.
So transmog ends up in underpants and socks.
Zonko. We dwarfs, for obvious reasons, have the job of mining transmog by taking socks and underpants back to the bank for processing.
But why only one sock?
We used to take two, but even humans started to notice. Questions were being asked in high places, so we had to cool it. The loss of only one sock calmed everything down.
This is incredible.
I know. You couldn't make this sort of thing up if you tried. What's more, our boffins have found certain coloured socks carry more transmog than others, and there is a direct correlation between transmog amounts and smelliness of foot.
Oh.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Teenagers, footballers and bankers' socks are actively sought after.
Why bankers?
Our boffins don't know, but the theory is they are so wrapped up making money they forget to wash their feet. I feel sorry for them.
Are there a lot of rules when mining?
Loads, and Cedric is a stickler. But I can find ways around them for a few of my side projects. And somehow I never need any transmog top-up, so I can trade my excess quota for this and that with other beings.
You mentioned footballers.
A fantastic transmog source, though you have to look out for the referees when mining, as most suffer from soft brain. However, in my experience, if, say, they spot a dwarf, a goblin or a zombie, they just think we're part of the crowd.
Do you take footballers' used underpants as well?
Do you mind? There are limits, you know.
Oh, sorry. Just checking my underpants and socks were still in place. Panic over! And so the rest of Sunday passed. Before John knew, it was time for tea, and more peanut butter sandwiches, and then it was evening.
Where's your dad?
Down the shed. He decided on a potter in the end.
What is this shed thing?
I don't really understand it either, Eric, but I know how important the shed is in male human culture. I think it either represents man's eternal fight for individuality and finding one's inner self, or a place to escape the missus when she's driving you batty. Who knows which?
I can't imagine how my dad would cope in a shedless world. My dad says it's the last bastion of male culture where we can be completely useless in comfort.
So what you're saying is having a place where men can do utterly pointless things is important in your world?
Vital.
Is that why there are so many golf courses and DIY stores?
I guess so.
Interesting. I don't really get it, but I've noted it all down for my next report to Cedric. You're an odd lot, that's for sure.
But sometimes, Eric, odd is good. It makes life more interesting. And we should know. I mean, whoever thought a dog, a boy and a dwarf would one day discuss the finer qualities of sheds?
Who indeed, Dennis? Who indeed? Well, me actually being the storyteller and all. And then, just as John thought nothing could ruin his day, the immortal words were spoken that put dread into every teenager's heart.
John, have you done your homework?
Well, nearly.
What's well nearly mean?
Well, we didn't really get that much, and it's kinda done in my head, and I can finish it later on.
John Jessop, you get up those stairs and you don't come down until you've finished. Why do you always leave it to the last minute?
You have to, Mum. Otherwise it's not cool.
You teenagers have some very odd ideas. Off you go, now.
I will. After this TV programme that's just about to start about horseshoes through the ages. Very interesting and educational, I think, and I'd rather...
Move! Now, otherwise there'll be trouble.
And that was that. Like thousands of teenagers before and thousands in the future, John unhappily stomped up the stairs, muttering the immortal words,
It's not fair.
Now, we here at Eric the Dwarf wish to distance ourselves from comments made by John's mother involving odd teenagers. I believe we've already made our views clear on the subject, and where mums say odd, we say unique, peculiar, interesting, loud, powerful, smelly, distinct, unusual aroma. You get my drift.
Gadzooks! That's another episode over, but never fear, chums. Eric the Dwarf will be back on your airwaves soon.